Well, you can take this college football first round so many different ways. It was awesome to see A&M and Miami, and it was awesome to see Alabama and Oklahoma. The other two games were, which we knew that was going to happen. But we'll briefly break down the Alabama and Oklahoma games. Alabama was down 17 points in this game, and they rallied and they battled, they prevailed, they did everything they could, and they came back and they deserved to win this game. I mean, I was watching that game, and Ty Simpson was under duress like the entire game, it felt like. There were some moments where he slipped away and he made some beautiful throws. Ty Simpson made himself a lot of money in that game for this upcoming NFL draft. He's 100% going to declare. And even if they lose to Indiana, I still think Alabama had a good season. I mean, I know it's going to be a tough game against Indiana, but sticking here on this game, I mean, I think the turning point of this game was when Alabama's defensive back Xavier Brown had that pick six on John Mateer. I think everything changed from there. I mean, Oklahoma was up 17-0, and now Oklahoma is 0-5 in the college football playoff era. Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, John Mateer. So, I mean, this was the largest deficit overcome in CFP history, and Alabama, they deserve to win that game. I don't know what happened to Oklahoma. They just turned back into the Oklahoma boring offense that they've had, but I mean, you got to give Alabama credit where credit is due. The Sooners looked in total control that entire first half. I mean, or when they were up 17 points, and then Alabama came back. Alabama still questions about the run game, Daniel Hill, Jam Miller, those questions there, but they've got guys on the outside and the perimeter with Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, and Ryan Williams that they can compete with anybody in the country. I need to see Ryan Williams step up in this Indiana game because he had one or two drops in this Oklahoma game that were crucial. And if Alabama plays like the way they did against Indiana, if Alabama plays the way they did against Oklahoma, when they play against Indiana down 17-0, they'll be in for a very long day in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. But Alabama showed the resilience in the championship DNA, and you know what? That is going to be a good game. But you got to give Ty Simpson credit where credit is due. They didn't fold. They were down 17-0. They had the fumble. They had the interception. He had some really good throws, and it was really nice to see when Ty Simpson had some time to throw the ball because he's got a beautiful ball as well. However, though, briefly about Oklahoma, John Mateer. Do I think John Mateer should come back for another year? Yes. After that game against Alabama, I think his draft stock plummeted. I don't think it was very high before this game as it is, but I think with the hand injury, he was uphill battle from there because in the beginning of the season, he looked darn good. Deion Burks is another good receiver as well for Oklahoma, but I think if I'm John Mateer, I'm coming back for another year. I don't see why he doesn't come back. Get another year under your belt, just like Sellers is doing, just like other quarterbacks are doing. Dante Moore might do the same thing, but if you're asking me, John Mateer should 100% come back. He still could declare. I could very well see that, maybe a late round pick, but quarterbacks that come to mind for me that are going to go: Mendoza, Ty Simpson, Carson Beck. Other quarterbacks as well. Pavia declares, I'm sure. I don't even know if he'll get drafted. However, though, John Mateer should 100% come back. Well, Saturday's game, because Friday night's game, Oklahoma and Alabama, was the only game. However, let's talk about Miami and A&M. Well, I have a lot of friends that are Miami fans, and you know what? I was at a watch party this past Saturday. I went to Twin Peaks with a couple friends of mine, and we walked into a watch party, and it was A&M Miami. It was a Miami watch party. There was a Miami alumni thing there, and you got to give credit where credit is due. Miami deserved to win this football game. That was one of the ugliest games I have watched in recent years. The amount of punts, the amount of missed field goals by Miami, A&M missed field goals, the Marcel Reed interception at the end of the game. And it's like Carson Beck had an ugly game, and Mark Fletcher was just an absolute machine on the ground with 172 rushing yards. He had the big 56-yard run at the end of the game. It was an insane game. It really was. I was like, is A&M going to win this game? Is Miami going to win this game? Is this game going to go to overtime? And then Marcel Reed throws the interception at the end there. Miami gets this, or A&M gets this lucky pass or roughing the passer call there. Malachi Toney had that crucial fumble at the end there. What I loved about that was that the players believed in him when he went to the sideline, and they said, hey, man, and pick your head up. We know you fumbled. We still have faith in you. We still have faith in you. His nickname is Baby Jesus. And he had that big touchdown at the end there, the 11-yard touchdown from Beck. That was that gave them the 10-3 lead. And we were talking about this, my friend Austin and I were like, did they score? Should they score? The first memory that comes to mind for me is the Ahmad Bradshaw Giant Super Bowl against the Patriots when he fell into the end zone and Coughlin didn't want him to fall in the end zone. In that situation there, yes, you score, because the way the game has gone with fumbles and missed field goals, score, get it over with, make them score a touchdown. This was Miami's first college football playoff victory in program history, and they overcame a massive hostile environment against A&M, who was 11-2, and they were averaging 36 points a game. Miami's defense is legit. We'll talk about the Ohio State preview breakdown next week. I'll get into all those next week, but you got to give Miami credit where credit is due. They deserve to win this football game, and I'm a big SEC guy. But you know what? I've kind of changed my tune as of late. I was really just big about the SEC and stuff, but I don't really care about A&M. Like, the only SEC team I care about is Florida. Like, yeah, it's cool if Georgia wins or Alabama or Ole Miss wins the Natty. Okay, cool. But the way the 12-team format now, the different landscape, it gives other teams an opportunity. Like, the SEC is not the only dog anymore. I understand that, because of NIL, and it's an even playing field now. So if, like, as long as Ohio State doesn't win, I don't really care. Like, Oregon, my friend Ethan, he went to Oregon. He's a big Oregon fan. Miami, they win. I got Miami friends as well. So if they win, I'd be happy for them living in Florida. Georgia, if they win, be happy for them, even though they've won. They've been dominant for years now. But maybe Joey says, oh, maybe anyone other than Georgia, Alabama, right? Oregon, Ole Miss, like, whatever. Like, whoever wins, as long as it's not Ohio State, I really don't care. Texas Tech, that'd be cool, because they've never won it. So, but yeah, Miami, they deserve to win this game. It was a really, really sloppy game. Some of the play calls that Miami called on offense was just dreadful to watch. Some of the trick plays, I'm like, dude. But yeah, Marcel Reed has another year next year, a big year for him next year, coming back to A&M. They just brought back Mario Craver. They re-signed him. Casey Concepcion declared for the draft. My A&M will get more guys because they've got a ton of money in NIL, and they're building something special over there. It's really like their first year of being like really, really good. They were decent last year, but this year, I mean, winning 11 games was good. So Miami will face Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. I was wrong. I picked A&M. I underestimated Miami. I was like, I don't trust Carson Beck, but that defense was nasty. That D-line is nasty. They could give Ohio State fits. We'll talk about that next week. Next game, Ole Miss Tulane. There's really not much to talk about. Ole Miss gave them BTA 41-10. No Lane Kiffin. Pete Golding's first win of his career, and Ole Miss's first win in the college football playoff, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, John Summerall and Tulane, they had no dog in the fight. They got dominated. I mean, they really did. I mean, if there was really, what is there to say? I mean, Kawan Lacey and Trinidad Chambliss really put the name to the test there. I mean, Retzlaff threw for over 300 yards and a touchdown, but he had the turnovers, and Ole Miss was just way too much for them to handle. So yeah, this was their first victory in program history. Of course, when Lane Kiffin left, good for them. They'll play Georgia in the Sugar Bowl next week, so that'll be interesting to see there as well. We'll talk about that next week. And then Oregon beating James Madison 51-34. I was kind of pissed because I took Oregon to cover the spread, and they were up. I think it was 34-3 at halftime, 34-6, 41-13 at one point. But man, Dante Moore had some beautiful throws in that game. I know he had the 2 interceptions, and they'll face Texas Tech next week in the Orange Bowl. I think I have a friend of mine going to that game. That'll be down here in South Florida. But the last thing I wanted to talk about we got the quarterfinals: Ohio State, Miami, Oregon, Texas Tech, Alabama, Indiana, Ole Miss, and Georgia. We'll talk about that next week. Well,